it's like a virgin getting like bad hooker pussy for the first time and is like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was unreal.
That's the tightest pussy of all time, and she was holding it together with her hands.
You're talking about
it's so loose.
You're talking about me, my first time.
You probably thought it was great, right?
No, it was horrific. One of the most depressing moments of my entire life.
Devin, can I ask you, did she have a very loose pussy, the prostitute?
No, she was unfortunately very young, like me. It was much more tragic. I think she was 19 and I was 18.
Yeah, that's on the podcast. We fall.
It was brutal. I wandered around a parking lot off Burbank Boulevard for like 30 minutes, being like, where are you? Where? I walked into the lobby. I walked into a Denny's that I thought was attached to the motel. It was so tragic. And then I walk in and she just immediately grabbed my cock. And I'm like, oh. And then she put like 2 condoms on my fucking bubblegum cock that couldn't work. And she got it hard enough to just make a form and fit into
She squeezed the base of it.
Fit into her stinky pussy. And she had like a Lenovo ThinkBook in a cup playing like fucking Nelly.
Yeah, whores are only allowed to use Lenovo. That's it. If they try to buy an iPhone, the cops show up.
Yeah, she was playing music on like a computer from the library that she took.
It's also funny that she was 19, but like in terms of life was like 40 years older than you.
And I had just lost weight, so I remember sitting in the bed and she was like rubbing my chest, and then she goes like, "Handsome man."
A 19-year-old who was like, "Oh, honey, get over here."
And I'm okay, she stuck. She had to do all like she grabbed my dick and then put it in her. And then I was like, I just felt that first feeling of ever being in a pussy, even if it sucked, and I just immediately came.
Yeah.
See, now this is a better movie than Twisters.
It is.
This is a movie I'd rather. Tangerine 2.
Sean Baker, hit me up.
Hit up Devin Costa.
I know a thing or two, pal.
Yeah, it's just called The Fag, starring Devin Costa.
The best part of that day is I got an ice cream cone at McDonald's across the street afterwards. I like treated myself after treating myself, but it was just all so tragic.
Like you just ran a marathon. You're like, I deserve something nice.
Exactly. Like I've been on a strict diet.
Right. I had a similar thing. I couldn't get a whore because I was still religious, but I got the non-whore equivalent, which was an enormous fat woman at a bar. And I did the same thing. Couldn't get her, just shoved my pussy in her, came immediately. And I think I've told this story. I was lying next to her, and I lied that I had to drive to San Antonio the next day. So
you couldn't stay?
I was like, I can't. I got to drive to San. I just forgot I have to drive to San Antonio right now.
You're so fat. It reminded me. I got to drive to the fattest city in the United States tomorrow.
Thank you for fucking me. I just remembered I'm buying a bull in San Antonio tomorrow. I forgot. Yeah, she was big. I should have tied a rope around her and just hinched my fucking hand in.
The wire, the rope around a pot roast.
Yeah. No, like a bull rider.
Oh, right.
Put one hand in the air.
Are you guys? Did you guys look into the? Because I heard you guys talking downstairs about the physics of tornadoes. Did you look into it after you watched the film to figure out how that shit works?
No, all I did was trust the movie. And there's one scene where Glenn Powell goes, "No one knows how tornadoes are really made." Or
Are you serious?
He says something like, "No one knows what a tornado even really is."
But isn't he a tornado scientist?
They know how it starts and stuff, but they don't. Hey, listen, according to Twisters, the new blockbuster, no one knows what a tornado is.
No one can figure it out.
Yeah.
No one has a clue, really, in the whole movie.
I'm not kidding, man. I just watched it. I'm not losing my mind. There's a scene where he's driving and he says no one knows what a tornado is.
Yeah. What if meteorology is such a lame science that everybody who does it is kind of retarded? They're just like, we got no idea. It spins.
Yeah, it's kind of was like that's what he was kind of saying.
You go up to a meteorologist, he's like, it's really fucking cool. It just spins.
It's just like when the wind is really mean wind.
See, God gets really angry because it's gay people, so he makes the wind mean.
Yeah, maybe if you met a meteorologist, he's like, yeah, man, it's like when you rip a Beyblade.
Yeah.
And it does that.
Yeah.
It's like, that's same God's doing that
Which
shit.
makes sense if you want to become a scientist and you're like, I want to study the wind and shit.
Yeah.
I want to become a scientist so I could become the weather app.
You ask a scientist what a tornado is, and he puts a glass of water down at a diner, and he just spins a spoon in it.
Well, you know Quora? Quora dot, like when you type
Quora,
in
yeah.
you type in a question like, why does my penis hurt?
Yeah. Sure.
And then
a guy goes, you have blood cancer.
on Quora.com.
Yeah.
It's always a guy that's like, I was in the Kandahar Valley for 9 years. Because they always list their credentials for some reason.
Right.
That has
Like-
nothing to do with answering the question.
They're like, I was in the Kandahar Valley, brother. I got one of the most fucked up dicks you've ever seen. You got cancer. My dick's like chewed up.
it's microwave.
Yeah. It's
Also on Quora, there's apparently like, a bunch of could possibly life-changing advice, but you have to like pay to see the rest of it, right? You can only ever see the
I've
first.
never paid.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I think people get in a manic state though, and they get worried about. But regardless, there used to be like a FAQ, right? Frequently asked questions, and people would just actually go to the Bible because there is stuff. There's stuff about the channels going through. There's rivers in the oceans. It says, and
yeah, that's
how
a verse in Isaiah or whatever.
Yeah, and that's how you know. Like a guy, they go, how that's how you know God's real, because this man lived in a desert. He never saw an ocean, and God told him that there were rivers that go through the ocean. Meaning that, remember Finding Nemo? Remember when the turtles go on
Yeah.
the thing?
Yeah,
And there's like a-
very biblical movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Marlon was played by a Jew, so it's kind of. He goes, I've got to find my son. Oh God, I'm a scared, and he's a clown, like a Catskills comic.
He is a clown.
Oh, wow.
You know? Yeah.
He's a Borscht Belt guy or whatever.
My son Mordecai, also we call him Nemo, so he won't get killed because he's a Jew. No, there's another one that's like the circumference of the earth is in the Old Testament, so they're like, oh, they like knew.
Oh, they
that
knew
the
it
earth was
a ball.
round.
They knew
Yeah.
it was a ball. Like, you can look at the text then, and they go, holy shit. They go, God told me it was like the shape
Right.
of like an orange or whatever.
It's a possibility that in 1,000 years, a scientist is like, yeah, we scientifically know gay people are evil and hell is real, but the Bible told us.
How come there were a
first.
flat earther guy? Like, how come they thought Columbus was going to fall off like the earth?
They were Italian.
They didn't read the Bible? Yeah, they were just Italian.
It was completely retarded.